Welcome, my name is Leslie Shockley, and today we're going to look at Geogebra. Geogebra is located at geogebra.org, and it is a mathematical software that can be used as a graphing calculator. Students can use it to create geometrical figures. In the classic version, we'll look at that first. The classic version, you can actually do everything that Geogebra has to offer. So you can do geometric shapes as well as graphing functions. So this would be a good place to start, just to explore, because you can, let's see, Geogebra has found some unsaved changes. I do not want to recover those. That's where I was playing with it earlier. So it will actually recover something. So if you were using it for something and forgot to save it, or needed to pull that back up again, you could. First, I want to graph just a line. I'm just going to go ahead and graph a line here. So recently in my math class, my students have been looking at parallel and perpendicular lines, and they've been practicing graphing these lines and creating new lines. So if I were having my students look at this, I would have them give them this function to graph, and then ask them to create a parallel and perpendicular line. So of course my students know that parallel lines have the same slope, and that they can add any y-intercept to the end of it, and the lines would be parallel. They also know that, and the way that I'm moving on to enter a new function is I'm simply hitting the enter key, and it gives me a new tab. So they also know that in order to create a perpendicular line, that they are going to take the opposite reciprocal, so negative 3/2 x, and that creates their perpendicular line. Now, my problem with this graph is that I'm having a hard time seeing both parallel lines. So I can zoom out and see my two parallel lines and my perpendicular line as well. And now if I would like to change the colors of these three lines so that it's easier to distinguish the three lines, and of course makes it look better too, I can click here, and notice if you click it once, it hides it for you. But I want to click and hit the settings button and come over and show my color, and let's change that one to green, and then let's click on the H line and change the color there. Let's go with blue there, and let's go back up to F and change it as well. Why not add a little color while we can? And of course the kids will enjoy doing this, picking the colors that they want to use. They like to add their own personal touch to it. So that's a little bit about what just the basic Geogebra app can do for you. I want to go back though and show you how to create an account. Just clicking back over, because every time you click one of these tabs, click to open the Geometry app, it opens a new window for you. Let me close out of that. So I'm going back to the home page and click sign in. And when I do that, it gives me several different options. I could use my Gmail account to open up a free account. If we have Office 365, Microsoft, Facebook, or Twitter, that's just different ways that you can open a free account, or you can simply click create account. So I want to create my account, and I'm just going to use my personal email. and it gives me a username, and it will tell me if it is if that's available or not. And then I just want to type in my password, and of course you have to type it in twice, and let the app know that you're not a robot. And let's see if that username is available. So click create account, and it's telling me that it's already in use, and that's because I already have an account set up. And then of course it's telling me that the username is also in use. So I'm just going to click my Google and sign into my Google account. Okay, so here is my dashboard, and this is a new account that I just created. I have one for school that I use with my class, not on a daily basis, but I try to incorporate different things for them so that try not to do the same thing all the time. So this is your dashboard, and anything that you've looked at or made would show here. If you had any groups created, you click on the groups tab and they would be here. So I am registered as a teacher under this account, so I'm going to click new group, and I can name it. So I teach honors geometry, so I'll just name this honors geometry. And I have different classes, so I could do this as A or B or C or whatever I wanted to do if I wanted to distinguish it from another one. Don't you hate it when you hit the wrong key and delete something accidentally? Alright, and I could put a description here, and so if this was, we do a block schedule, so I could call this A Day, because that's what my A stands for. You can add permission, so owners are the only ones by default that can add material or make posts, but you could change that to members as well. But for a class, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to leave that as owner because I don't want them changing things that I post. And then default settings is authors only. So if I click save, that creates my group. And it gives me a code that they can go to geogebra.org/groups and join the group. So they click that, and I forgot to copy and paste that. So let me go back. Let's try that again. And click join. They type in the code and they hit join, and it shows them, welcomes them to the account. And because I'm already logged in, it didn't give me the option to log in or create a username. Now for your students, it will give them the option. It'll ask them to create an account, or it will simply ask them to enter a username. And they can do either one. I had mine create an account just so that they could access it later on. And if I have them create anything in it, they can save it. And I won't have to worry about them not having their stuff saved in the right place. So once you have people added to the group, it will show here. I'm going to go ahead and show you, let's go back to the home page and just show you some of the things that they have. You click search and you search for your material. Now when I type in geometry, and this is one really neat thing that I want to get in, they have a common core link. So someone has actually taken the time to align the standards with some apps that students can use. So I can search through here, and right now my students have just moved on to congruence. So we can look at the congruence tab, and that's going to show me several different applications based on the standard that we're looking at for the students to explore. So that would be a good way to make sure that your standards are tied into what you're doing and what you're showing your students. So that's just a brief introduction to what Geogebra can do in your classroom. I have found it very handy and a good hands-on way for students to manipulate things and see how things work. Thank you for your time.